Hello and welcome to part 10 of my YouTube walkthrough for Bard's Tale 3 for the Apple. In this video, we will finish our work in Arboria, defeating Tslotha Garnath in the Festering Pit and finding the quest items in the Sacred Grove. We will then farm it for items, which you can skip, and the outline will show you where to jump. Also, before we begin, note for reference that I've provided links in the description to my written guide and relevant maps at GameFAQs. Okay. We will start off at the entrance to the Festering Pit. And the Festering Pit is bigger than Valarian's Tower, but with fewer narrow passages, and it even does a couple odd things that don't appear in dungeons in the rest of the game. So I may move first and explain or show the map later. First, we note the magic mouth graphic is a bit off. The image that I got from Asimov.net years ago, I think the first one actually didn't work, and the second one had a few bad graphics. Maybe there's a better one that's been updated since then, but I haven't seen it. I haven't really tried or looked. I guess I can say, well, I know what a magic mouth looks like. I saw him in Bard's Tale 2 all the time. So we are going to go straight north, and now we're going to want to head generally east and going a bit north along the way. Again, all fights are worth it. Nice. Alright, this is good. I'm kind of chiseling here with the magic points. Instead of casting a Mama spell, I'm using a couple rhyme spells. This square was a spinner, so we want to have the door ahead and on the left, with the wall on the left. Okay, more enemies. Fatal Fist really does wipe out everything. And let's see how we've gone so far. Up the north, up the west wall, then east, and then you can see we kind of keep going slightly north as we go east. Then we went to the 2x3 room past the spinner, and now this 3x3 room has a north door. This 2x3 has a northwest door, and we take the stairs down. Oh, I should have mapped one more time just to be sure of things. Okay. The experience isn't going to be a ton. The main thing we want is the items. Even if we get an item like the Conjure Staff, though, I'm not going to use it. That's the one we really want. Or at least you'll really want if you want to play it on your own, because that cuts the spell points needed for a spell in half. So one of your players is going to get a really, really good deal out of Harmonic Gems, and they can be the big offensive spellcaster. So let's have Sandy use the Dayblade, which is very nice. We want to walk into the darkness here. This is one of those places where I will say I'm just going to run where I need to and then tell you what's going on later. In this case, I'm going to run into a wall, still saying FIFA. And I'll bring Magic Compass back up again. And, well, we go one back east and south. Okay, well, the fun times are over now. Mama will usually kill everybody, but it isn't quite as reliable as Fatal Fist. One thing we can also do is combine Mama with Rhyme. And so we want to use the Dayblade again. And you'll see what we did is we went west along the darkness, one east, and then south, back. We see the portal above us. We push E to go up the portal, and now this is kind of weird. The walls are all invisible. And we kind of zigzag through the center to avoid magic drains. Actually, there was very little point in avoiding the magic drains just now because everyone was so low on magic I was going to use a Harmonic Gem soon anyway. But it was a 3x4 room. You go around the edges, you hit one magic square, or Magic Drain Square, which isn't a big deal. Oh, well, that was bright, using the Dayblade in darkness. And I probably should have used the Harmonic Gem anyway. And I keep forgetting to use a Bard Song. Okay. The wineskin is water, and the trick brick, I forget what it does. I in fact had a test run with this earlier, and I got a trick brick, or maybe that was the trick brick I got, and I didn't research what it was, so that's kind of on me. There are plenty of sites, and I know it's in guides that they discuss this. There's an item guide. Okay, Flame Sword. I think Flame Sword is pretty good, but I think Pure Blade is better. Now what we want to do is face north. And this is going to be another tricky bit because we cannot see that this wall is fake. It is the only fake wall that I'm aware of in the game. And it isn't super clued or clued at all, or if it is clued, I missed it. So what I did to get near Tslotha was to cast Phase Door. This was adequate. Okay, it's not this square, it's the one next to it. Yeah, we still can't see anything. Again, these enemies, the worst they generally do is aid you. Okay, Flame Knife. We don't need the Shadow Shiv anymore. I think it automatically attacks in the shadows, or does critical hit, or lets you hide in the shadows. And so we can have something better that gets us an armor class point, so yay. Ahead, there is a spinner in darkness. There is no way to control or see where we're going. I don't think even with Watchwood Melody. So what we can and should do is just hold down K to kick the doors open. Fortunately, magic works. Useless. Okay, and no matter what, there is a 1/3 chance of getting through to the north. We got kicked back to the south, but we just keep hitting K so that we go through the spinners. And I'm not going to cast light because, actually I might as well, we have enough for the Dayblade, but it's not very useful because we know where we are. We spin the compass back north, and we go into the mixer again and just hold down K until it says something ahead. It will say something ahead whether we succeed or not. And this time it worked. So, yay, in 3 turns. Exactly the expected value. So now we go back south, west, 3 north. Tslotha is just ahead. Okay, that's kind of annoying. Let's drop the boomerang, and let's have Plankton use the youth potion so we don't have to use 60 spell points. We can also have Plankton cast Rest, and all we need to do here, famous last words, is have Gary cast the Luck spell. And what Luck does is it makes it easier for you to hit your opponent and easier to dodge them. Here is Tslotha Garnath. What we do is attack, 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 hide, and Death Strike doesn't really work, or at least it didn't when I tried it without luck. So we attack, and SpongeBob may critical hit, or Patrick may get in a hit. Either way, this worked pretty well. We don't really care that Sandy died. You'll also notice the bug. Sandy died, but the Bard Song is still playing. That is a bug you can take advantage of early on if you want to do the mage trick to be that much tougher to hit. I also like The carcass of Tslotha Garnath is here, and it sure smells pretty bad. Kind of a departure from the general fantasy language. I like it. It's kind of neat. So instead of going back, I'm going to show you the way that I got there. And what I would do was cast Phase Door to the west, move south, cast Phase Door to the west, and so forth. I should also probably and cast Resurrect and cast 6. VITL Vitality cures spell points quickly. Okay, not enough spell points. And we are going back pretty much the same way we came once we get the Phase Door right. But here is where we can cast the Phase Door and the Sound of Silence. So our Bard Song is wiped out. Now the Darkness, we remember, is to the east. And, whoops, I forgot to reshuffle everyone. Get Squidward's Bard Song, Beyblade, and we face north. And we can see how we entered. From the bottom, we went west-ish a bit, then pretty much straight north, then back east and north, and then we'll hook around here. Okay. Quentin has one more Mama spell in him. And I would have cast APAR to get back to the stairs, but APAR does not work in this dungeon. I'm not sure why. Actually, I was going to use a Harmonic Gem. I don't have one. Let's use Dynamite instead. Dynamite is Mangar's Mallet. I think Holy Hand Grenade is 2, or it was in Bard's Tale 2. It might be here, or it might be Divine Intervention. And if it's Divine Intervention, I want to save it for a fight that actually is more challenging. Oh, you know, I had plenty of time to use a Harmonic Gem, and I didn't. But it didn't matter because the enemies were so far away. Okay. Whoops, I forgot there was a spinner there. We want the wall on the right, I think. No, I went through the spinner. I hit the spinner, I hit the other spinner, and then I went south. So we are facing north now. We want the wall on the left. There we go. And now the familiar actually summons monsters, so we could use the trick of waiting for them to summon friends, but it doesn't have much experience, and also there are better places to get experience we'll find later. We don't really need experience for the next few dungeons. We just want to get through with things. In fact, finding a cool item will work better than experience. Harmonic Gem, alright. That's the sort of thing we were looking for. And here we've gone pretty much, we've retraced our steps a bit, except we went south before going west instead of going west and back south because there is a one-way door. And here, look at the magic mouth. Be wary, mortal apostrophe S. Okay, I'm not going to correct it, both the veracity of its statement, indeed you shall fail, or the apostrophe, because if it's calling me mortal, it might be immortal. And so it tells me something I already know, but, whoops. I was trying to get it to reappear. Okay. Let's get rid of the Ixtals. I always wondered what Ixtal stood for. Is it some sort of acronym, or is it just one of those nonsense words we think up and they're too good not to share? It'd be interesting if there was a history. I suppose I could go Google it, but it might just turn up the monster list. Wow, I'm just attacking here and ain't nothing happening. A herb figurine. Let's I was about to ditch the herb figurine, but this is probably a waste of a Mangar's mallet. Oh, okay. We can drop these two items at once. So what we want to do now is go back to see Arboria and say hi to the king. He will be happy to see us. Hail victors! Your names will be sung. Yeah. But what do I get? What items do I get? Okay. Worthy of Valarian's relics. And that means we can go into the grove. Didn't mean to go into that. Yeah, that's the problem. If we don't use spells, we get olded. Alright, well that was worth it. It shouldn't have been worth it, but it was. Let's Squidward equip the Song Axe, and his armor class goes to -10, and then we use the Youth Potion. It'll go a bit further down. There we go. This is good stuff. So, to the west is a Sacred Grove. I'm actually going to go here, advance. I think everyone's going to get a level. Level is every 400,000 right now. So another thing we want to do, why not, is the temple. And we could have just cast a rest spell, but I'm lazy and chiseling, so I didn't. So, Sacred Grove. This is a weird little map because it warps west and east, so I don't really have a good sense of perspective on it. And there are spinners in random places. This is a hotspot. Okay, we got a fight. Also, one problem with opening the chest, as I just did, is that there is a basilisk trap, and it actually can kill you. Oh, one other thing, vampire snakes, they are bad news because they can drain a level from you. So we may want to avoid them or use Fatal Fist on them. This is cool. Tree Frog. I do like that picture. It might be my favorite one of all the illustrations. We want to go a few more squares south, and okay, we want to, I'm looking at the map here, we want to go all the way, use, oh man, all the way south except for one square, and then we go east along this wall. I think Death Ring is pretty whack, so here, okay. Fortunately, we can fry vampire snakes with a spell. To the south, wait, Wargloves, those I think are pretty good. They're a step up from Mithril Gloves. Yes, most definitely they are. So the Sacred Grove is really nice for items. Got too many Mithril Gloves there. I forget, can the Chronomancer equip them? Or is it the Geomancer? I think it's the Geomancer. And what we want to do here is we want to make sure we're healed because this next part is a bit odd. It opens up a secret door, but it doesn't do so right away. First anti-magic, and also I think it zapped the bard songs. My heart knew but one ache. Heal that pain. There's a bowl in the cavity, and we want to use Tslotha's heart and use the water of life. And this is why the eternal flame, beautiful blue which dazzles the eye. It really confuses me because I don't know when the secret door appears. Whoops, that was casting in an anti-magic zone. That don't work so good. And I think you have to leave and come back and it appears. I don't know, but just kind of butting your head against it doesn't work. So I went south, and then two west, and then we're going to go back east, and south, and east, and Valarian stuff is here, in the east corner of the little triangle. So now, what we're going to do is, actually we don't have very many magic points left. These are useless items, but the items we do, or rather the magic points we do, we should use them. And where are we going now? I hate this maze. I absolutely hate it. We want to use all the magic points we can, because when we get back to the guild, the man there will give us a full recharge. So there's no harm in just blowing magic points. Staff of Lore, I don't think that's going to do much for armor class or whatever. Well, it's better than no weapon. And there is a spinner ahead. And, okay, I think this is the way to go north. And we actually ran out of magic points very quickly. Let's run. Yes, we wish to leave the grove. So we didn't find a whole ton of stuff there. Well, this is also a bit awkward. We need about 10 spell points to get back from Arboria. And I think we need to... We go 2 east and then north. Yes, oh... Well, yeah, maybe some other time. This is a bit... Okay, I'm gonna... I was just gonna turbo the emulator so that I get some magic points. I thought I'd saved a few, but I ran into anti-magic zones. Oh geez, am I gonna have to... I might have to use a what do you call it anyway. A harmonic gem anyway. Are you kidding me? This is nonsense. Well, that was pretty bad. We want Gary to be at 10 magic points to cast ENIK. Again, speed up the emulator. And 5 ENIK. And we go north and we head back to the guild, but I think I want to resurrect everyone first. Or not everyone. Silly imp. Very impolite of them not to let me be. And so we cast 3. Chronomancers have a Beyond Death spell as well. Ah, that's nasty. Even when you're resurrected, you're still dead. I think we actually had 2... Did we have 2... No, we did not. Oh, that must have been in one of my failed runs that I didn't post to the channel. So, okay, we have done well. Bring Lanatir and get the Wand of Power and the Sphere of Lanatir. He awards each member 600,000. And we want to talk to the Elder. Have Gary talk. GELI, ECUL. These each cast 15 points, and I want to cast 5 Olay, which Oil of Olay, it unolds everyone, so cast 3 rest. And we turn around, we get advanced, only 1 level. We just missed the second one. It's not worth sticking around to get a level. I do, however, want to check one thing after I rearrange the party. I want to see... Okay, if you say so. 28, so Mr. Krabs is almost at 30s across the board. Gary is at 29. Plankton is 4 levels away. So we want to go to Cold Peak now. We just want to make sure, did we get the spell we needed? Whoops, it's Gary who's a Chronomancer. GELI and ECUL. And even if you forget what is where, there are 7 locations that each say, okay, something special is here, and you can probably figure out which world is where, or you can just use trial and error. And the best way to get to Cold Peak, well, it's kind of south of the tavern. It's not worth it to sit and kill these enemies. So I went east, north, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, east, and here's Cold Peak, I think, or not. Okay, wait, this is Canestia, the 4th world. 2 west and then south. There is Cold Peak. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6. Actually, okay, Plankton should be in front because he has an armor class. GELI, and we save. And 055350 says the hex editor. Alright. Well, I'm Eek. Gary has 666 spell points. Oh no. Let's be evil to these poor little enemies who have no clue. Yay. A lever is useless. So, we are in Gelidia, which is the 2nd world. It has its own little qualities which make it kind of tough. We'll find out about that in the next video though, because this is a good place to stop and say thanks for watching through. And if you've enjoyed this enough, giving a like or subscribing if you haven't already goes a long way in encouraging me to create more videos to share my enjoyment of great retro games. See you next video.